Well, welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Join me today from the Department of Ag Trade Consumer Protections. Michael, he's back and he is ready to take you on okay, I'm not going to take you on spring break trip, but we are going to talk about spring break here for a second and try to minimize some of the risks as you do if you choose to travel this spring break season. Michael, welcome back to the show. First, how are you doing?
Doing great, Jeremy. Thanks.
You look like you're on vacation. I love that background. Every time you get on here, I'm like, man, I want to be where you are.
If only I could actually be there, it would be
it'd be a perfect spring break getaway if it was that time of season too. But of course, that probably isn't the case on that background. Today, we're going to be talking about those risks and some considerations, I think, as you head out. A lot of people are antsy to get back out as things have kind of slowed up on COVID world. But as you're looking at this and considering heading out, where do you want to start as far as, and it starts probably with some of those reservations and arrangements as you choose your adventure?
Yeah, back in the day, we used to we have to go to a travel agent and everything was single stream and they would give you your paper tickets and off you go and that was it. And now there are so many different ways to make reservations, book trips. You can do it yourself and so many different sites. So the one thing we recommend is when you make that reservation, get a confirmation of where you're going, get it from the website. If you're going through a third party, confirm with the hotel, the airline, the car rental, all those direct places that they made the reservation so that it doesn't get lost in translation and you show up on vacation and realize that third party hadn't done what they're supposed to.
Yeah, that's so important. Especially there are so many sites and you want to make sure they're legitimate. So getting everything you can, putting it on paper. I like that one. That's got to be a must here. So you have something to show when you get there.
Absolutely. If you go traveling domestically, even here, you might not get cell coverage. And if you have everything saved electronically and you're trying to bring it up and they don't have it, you're lost. So it's that risk is compounded even further if you're traveling overseas or outside the country. So we recommend print everything that you have, take it with you so that when you show up and the trip doesn't get ruined because the reservation got lost or they just can't find it in their system. As long as you have that paper copy, you should be able to show and get what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a safe bet all around. Next one is paying by credit card whenever possible. Why is this so important?
Most credit cards offer protection if you're scammed out of it or the services aren't offered, and you can put a stop charge on those. So we recommend using a credit card to make sure that you get what you're getting, and that if you went to that business and they weren't the right one, that you can try and have some opportunity to recoup your loss.
All right, I think everybody this next one has probably dealt with this in some way or fashion. Maybe it's not as big as it used to be. I don't know, but I certainly went to one of these. And you're trying to catch a deal, but go to listen to a sales pitch or some type of offer, and that just leads to mess. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. What would you say before considering taking the listening and free vacation?
Well, like the deals are tempting. The amount of money you can save at the resort, these hotels, when they're offering you want to sit through usually a 2 to 3 hour presentation is extremely tempting. So I don't fault people for buying into that and doing it. I've done it a couple times, but what I encourage everyone is if you're sitting there and you're feeling tempted, pay very, very close attention to the fine print. Specifically, make sure you understand what the terms and conditions are, what the long-term payments, and really what the cancellation is. Cancellation is the key one because those sales teams, they're there for a reason. They're very good at what they do, and you're caught up in the spirit of being on vacation, and of course you want to be there even longer, and you want to come back. So just be cognizant of all those factors.
Yeah, I love the commercial. You hear it every once in a while. I'll get you out of that timeshare that you never knew you could get out of. So definitely, if there was a fine print reading or double checking or just walking away, that is the time. You got to be so careful with those things.
You do, Jeremy, and that conversation about how to get out of it is a whole another episode we could spend time on.
I'd love to hear where you were when you had this. So I'll tell you mine off air at some point. But let's talk about reviewing the bill statements to ensure your charges are accurate before paying. That is, you got to do it when you're on these vacations, no matter what it is.
Absolutely. If you're not paying attention, one of the big extra charges that we're not noticing anymore and a way for hotels to recoup are resort fees. So you'll book your hotel online and not realize when you show up, there's a $39 or whatever it is per night resort fee. So before you go through and let that charge go, get that folio at the end of your stay, look it over before you close out, and make sure that what you thought you were paying for, or the services that you being charged for, you actually received before you authorize that payment.
I get so uncomfortable now if I don't see if I stay at a hotel and I don't see that paper bill on the floor. I'm like, oh man, there must be something wrong. I'm going right down there. But you really do got to review those things. It's so important. Finally, keeping your credit cards and travel papers secure while you're traveling. I have a problem with using the safe on site. Like, I just never feel like it's safe. But what would you recommend?
Well, to that point, if there is the safe, you have to make that risk reward factor of if leaving in the safe more of a risk, or is it taking all of your stuff with you? That one, I see both sides of it. I
Of course.
probably use the safe because if I'm out and I got my passport and all my money and everything, and something goes sideways, I'm stuck.
Yeah, and it just always makes me think when I'm there, like, do I really want to do this or not? I don't know, but either
Yeah.
way, you're right. Versus carrying with you and being stuck completely could be another disaster in itself. Well, if people do want to find out more about any of the stuff we talked about today, or even, I mean, thinking ahead for planning for the summer as well, this all can work to your advantage. How can we get that information?
Sure. Just visit our website, which is datcp.wi.gov. Or if you want to talk to someone to figure out how to navigate that website or get some more information, feel free to give us a call on our hotline at 800-422-7128.
All right. Well, we hope everybody has a safe trip as they go out, and definitely just do your homework and research. And Michael, we appreciate your time, and hopefully you get to escape maybe to those backwoods, but if not, somewhere nice during the spring break.
Right around the corner. Appreciate the opportunity to share the message.
All right. Appreciate it as well. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.